It's now August here on the farm, and I can tell because look at this amazing spread that we have. So I'm going to show you where all of this stuff comes from and give you our August farm tour. These sunflowers aren't actually part of the market stand. These are destined for the compost. We're gonna start this video off really strong and show you something we never show you. All of these weeds, look how many weeds we have. This is supposed to be carrots and it's not, it's weeds. I need to weed it. Just joking. Obviously we're gonna start with the flowers. This is where we're gonna start all of our videos because how could we not? It looks so good. All of our dahlias have started blooming, all of our beautiful dinner plate dahlias. They look so good. We haven't even really been picking these because we just enjoy them so much. They're so pretty to look at. We'd almost rather just have them here than try to drag them down to the farmer's market and sell them. We are loving the zinnias. These are, you know, the main flower that we grow and sell. This is the base of almost all of our bouquets, and at this point, you know, they're going like crazy. The end is starting. I've noticed this week already that they've started to slow down a bit, maybe because I'm being really bad at keeping them picked. The less flowers there is on the plants, the more flowers they produce, and we love them so much. We've probably left more than we should have, but we have picked so many out of here already, and these will keep producing for us until frost comes and kills them off. So we still have at least a month and a half more zinnia love time in our life.
In technical terms, there's two types of zinnias. This is the pancake stack style, and then this is the pineapple style.
Not actually.
No, but these always remind me of a stack of pancakes. At the farmer's market, people have been really liking these multicolored zinnias. They make very dramatic bouquets, and they've probably been the main seller.
One of the new things that we're growing this year is these. I'm pretty sure they're called Gomphrena or Globe Amaranth. We have been loving them. They were these sad little pathetic plants, and they still look pretty small compared to what they do get when people grow them properly, but they feel like a straw flower, and they have this look almost like a clover, and they're super fun, and the color is like really punchy. I've been really enjoying them in bouquets. Another new item for us this year is the white liatris. We had the purple, we put in even more purple, and we added some of this white, and this has been really fun to work with too. I found that you can kind of see on some of these here, when they die off, they go brown. So I do have to be a little bit more cautious that I'm picking them when they're very fresh. but they're, you know, they're so easy to grow. They're super easy to work with, and I've really liked having 2 color options. And I can't talk about flowers without talking about my amaranth obsession. This one is new this year too, and obviously I need to have it every year now. It's called Coral Fountain. I love it. But the amaranths, they're in their full stride. I've probably picked about 1/3 of them already, so I'm starting to be like, ooh, I can't pick them all because I need them to last me until frost. But, you know, this one's probably not going anywhere. This one's probably staying right here with me. And we're also at that time of year where I hate cosmos. See these beautiful things? They drive me crazy. I took a machete to them the other day and I hacked down half of them. This is the section that I didn't hack down. It's just, they grow so fast, they grow so big. It's so hard to keep up with it. They're great to have because they're early and they are pretty, you know, they go and go and go. So when everything else slows down, these will still be pumping out lots of flowers for me. But yeah, they flop everywhere, they get massive, and it's just so hard to keep it picked. So come August, I'm always like, cosmos! Not gonna do that next year, but obviously I am. But who cares about all those flowers? This is an August video. The thing that matters the most is tomatoes, because it's finally tomato season. We've been picking baskets. Yesterday was my harvest day because today was market. So I picked 4 black totes of tomatoes, 2 big tomatoes and 2 totes of cherry tomatoes, which means heaven. I'm in heaven. This tunnel is basically my happy place right now because it's cherry tomatoes and eggplants and hot peppers, all the things that I love to eat and I love to grow. So I am pretty glad when I get to spend a day in here working, especially when it's a cool day. Today was pretty cool, so I enjoyed a few hours in with the tomatoes.
We eat a lot of tomatoes. I like to say that we are tomato-based life forms in this family. Although our daughter very annoyingly doesn't like tomatoes, so we are in the market for a new daughter. It's great because we pick all that we can pick and then we sell what we can sell and then we turn the rest into a sauce or something like that for the week. One of the things about this farm and the way that Serina and I work, it's not necessarily the most efficient right now. You know, this is only the start of our 2nd year and we are only 2 people. People ask all the time, like, oh, do you have help? And, you know, there is a girl who drops by, you know, maybe once or twice a week, some weeks, for, you know, a handful of hours. And she's a big help. But for the most part, it's just Serina and I here, and, you know, we also have a young family. So it is hard to keep up with all of the work of the farm. And so maybe all of our tomatoes could produce more if we like maximize this and that, but the reality is that we planted hundreds of them and they all, you know, they only produce half of what they could have. That's still a crazy amount of tomatoes. So we have a ton of food coming out of the farm right now, and it's really hard for Serina and I to keep up, but we are doing our best.
The farm is producing at its absolute peak right now. There is a ton of stuff coming out of here, but it's going to be declining soon. And I can already kind of see, you know, the season catching up with us when I come down here and look at this. You know, these zucchinis are a perfect example. They're starting to get a bunch of powdery mildew. What I do to fight powdery mildew is I do nothing. I let it eventually kill off my plants, and you know, it slows them down, but by this time of year I've already gotten the main harvest off of them, and then when it gets so bad I just rip the plants out. This kale bed is a perfect example of something that needs to get dealt with that we just haven't gotten to. We have not been harvesting out of here since June, but we just haven't had the time or the need to remove this kale in order to get new crops in. But we have a lot of stuff that needs to get into the garden. Oh, look at this big fat. This has probably, you know, 2 beds, 3 beds worth of Swiss chard, another bed of kale I've already planted too, as well as I think there's 3 beds of lettuce just sitting behind me. And so that means all those like bits and pieces spots that we've been neglecting, we need to get to now, because we are running out of time. This stuff needs to get into the ground and get growing, because even though it feels like full-on summer, August, amazing, all this abundance, we're gonna start running out of daylight hours. Where we are up here in Canada, we start to not have enough light for things to grow well by about end of September. So I need to get these things well grown by the time we hit that, so that I can keep harvesting them up until Christmas.
Chunks.
Look at this big fat man. He's purring. Oh, you're drooling. You're drooling. One of our biggest sellers so far this year has been carrots. This is carrots that I will be starting in on harvesting this coming up week. We finally sold out of our early spring planted carrots, and now we're on to our summer planted carrots. These hopefully will carry us into the fall, and then I have carrots that I planted about 2 weeks ago, the weedy mess from the beginning, and I'm hoping that those will get me baby carrots for October, November, but carrots are a huge seller for us, and we actually have a lot of success growing them. So this is part here to stay. Carrots are here to stay. Another crop that we've had a lot of success with, that I'm really happy with this year, is cucumbers. These were a pain in the butt because I didn't get them trellised on time, but now that I have them trellised, they've been super easy to take care of, and they're just producing and producing and producing and producing. I actually had it planted for a double row, and only the front row really did well, and it's still more than enough. Buddy, be quiet, you're too noisy.
I have nothing to say, but I've got a cat.
I have to show off these amazing tomatoes. This is a greenhouse variety of tomato called Big Dina, and these are the most perfect tomatoes you've ever seen in your life. They're incredible. They've been really tasty, and they're nice and firm, the way that I like a tomato. None of this mealy business. But I do nothing. They produce like crazy, and they're these big, perfect, unblemished tomatoes. This is definitely on the list of tomatoes I want to grow again. I've been really happy with them. Things I've been unhappy with, though, is lettuce. I'm super mad at lettuce this year. It has been fighting me. It's been getting bitter, it's been not super tasty. I water it like crazy because that's what you need to do to grow good summer lettuce, but it's just not where I want it to be. And I think that when it comes to lettuce, it isn't going to be where I want it to be until we get our automatic irrigation going. Right now we have to manually turn on the irrigation, and I think that the fluctuations between it being a day and a half instead of a day between waters is just affecting the quality of the crop. I did try some different lettuces for the summer heat though. We normally grow the Salanova. This is one of the butter crunch Salanovas, but they weren't super healthy in the heat of the summer. So I did Muir and a bunch of Johnny's Summer Crisp series to try out and see if I could find some stuff that liked our hot, dry summers a little bit better, and super happy with Muir. Not all of the series has been great. I need to go back and compare what is what, but I know for sure this is the Muir, and it's been a really amazing lettuce. This is on my to-buy list to grow next summer. We sold a lot of kale and Swiss chard last year. Last year we had a third of what we're growing this year for both the kale and the Swiss chard, and we sold out every week, so we made sure to put in a lot. And then this year they just haven't been selling super good, so my plants are super full, lots on here, because it's still producing. We just haven't been picking it because it hasn't been selling. The Swiss chard, it's been doing a little bit better for us, especially the rainbow Swiss chard. Everyone loves the looks of it. I'm not too worried. This stuff isn't going anywhere. All this kale that, you know, hasn't sold yet, it's just making it so it's gonna be nice and healthy, and this stuff can go past frost. This can't get through our winter. These varieties usually die around -15 Celsius. But that gives us a lot of picking time, because our goal this year is to go into December.
The farmer's market that we sell at, the Kelowna Farmers Market, right now it's outside in a big parking lot by the mall, but in the fall it actually shifts to an inside venue. I mean, I assume this year it will do it, but you know, who knows. But the plan is it goes inside, and it actually goes all through the winter, and there's crafters and there are still some farmers, you know, selling root crops and stuff like that. But our plan is to really go after the fall and the winter, early winter stuff with fresh farm produce, and try to kind of get into all of the people who use the Kelowna Farmers Market as their grocery store and start selling to them, because there's a really good chunk of people who go to these farmers markets and they buy their week worth of groceries, and they're kind of like the whales. You know, you hear about casinos going after courting the big spenders. Well, these are the people that really can make or break your market sales, and you know, they've been shopping with all of these, you know, like the market's been going on forever, so there's all these established farms that, you know, do what they do week in and week out, and the people go and shop with them, which is, you know, great. We support all farms. We're, you know, pro-farm. But to get our foot in the door with these people, we feel like if we start trying to offer more of a selection in this fall and winter market, that maybe we can just start establishing a rapport with these customers and really use that as a launching point for next season's farmers markets and during the summer, when maybe we can get some of these people to actually search us out at the main market and, you know, become our customers.
It feels a little bit crazy to be talking about going until Christmas at this point, because by this time, like, you know, if I'm being honest, Ian and we're starting to feel it. we're starting to feel tired. You know, it's a lot of hot, long days. Every day, you know, the season started full on in April, so we've been going hard for a long time now, and it's adding up. We're starting to feel like we don't have the same level of energy, but this is kind of the last month. This is the last month of when, you know, it takes every single moment of the day. Once we get into the fall, the workload kind of dies back, other than the fact that I bought 3,500 tulip bulbs that we're gonna have to plant in the fall, but that's a different story for a different time. You know, as I'm walking through with you guys, showing you the farm, trying to think about what's exciting, I'm kind of like, I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. I don't know what's exciting. I'm like, it all just has kind of blurred together for me, you know, and Ian having been, you know, asleep right before we made this video, it's exactly the same for him. We've gotten to the point we can't see the forest from the trees, but we have that goal. The goal is to keep going. The goal is to keep the abundance going. We just got to keep the ball rolling, and I think we'll get there. I'm not feeling bad. I'm feeling like it's totally doable, and then we'll get to the end, and it'll be 2021 vision.
The end is just another start.
the end of the season, if the season ends in December, like Christmas, that's pretty much the best case scenario, because then I only have a couple weeks to wait before January flips over and I get to finally do my new year of seed shopping, which I wait for all year. It'll be seed shopping time again, and then I get to obsess about seeds and get all excited and sleep in every day. Like, it's, you know, it's all good. Every day is a good day. Some days are, you know, like you're more tired, you don't get as much done, but every day is still a good day.
Serena says she doesn't know what's exciting, but we still haven't shown off our new paint job on our house, which is really nice. It turned out really well, better than I was expecting. Basically, before, this was kind of this pukey green color, and the wood and the stucco were both this pukey green color. And I gotta admit, as far as pukey green goes, like, it looked okay. It wasn't like gross, but with this white stucco and then this brown highlighted trim, it looks all like Tudor style, and I'm really into it. I think it looks great.
Cats. Two cats.
Our three boys. Before, our house maybe kind of blended into the background when people drove by, and we wanted it to be punchier, so this new paint job is great. We want to attract people's attention when they drive by and then start trying to entice them to come down onto the farm and buy our food.
Come buy our food. Come buy our food.
Whatever, creepy lady.
Come, look, come buy our food. The reason why we're so concerned with what the house looks like and so excited about it looking really good with the paint job is we really want to build the farm as a, you know, direct to customer sales type business. And Ian and I hate driving. So if we could build that sort of business where everyone just comes straight to us rather than us having to go someplace like the farmer's market, then that would be amazing. We've been talking about building a farm stand, you know, from the beginning. We were gonna do a smaller self-serve little shed was kind of the plan for this year, but now more and more we're talking about maybe what we're gonna do is build a more store type farm stand. You can build the type of farm stand in our area where you can sell other people's products as well as your own products. You just have to sell 50% of your own. And if that's something we can do, it means that we could sell a lot more. It means we could sell fruit, even though we don't grow fruit. And so the more people start to associate our house as a fun location to come to, the better it's going to be when we go to build that farm stand and start trying to really go after those sort of sales.
This year, our farmers markets have been a little bit shy of what our sales goal was, but I haven't really been dwelling on that too much because I'm so excited about the long-term prospects of a farm stand. And not just any farm stand, but this larger style farm stand where we sell other people's products as well. Two of our neighbors on that side have farm stands. So if we built a farm stand, we'd be three businesses or three properties in a row with farm stand presence. And if you keep going that way, other people have like eggs for sale out of their carports and stuff like that. It's quite the little sales section of road. And customers are used to just pulling off and using these types of stores along here. It's not like we'd have a farm stand in the middle of nowhere and nobody would know that it's there. These farm stands routinely have 2 or 3 cars at them all day long. Some of them, you know, you drive by and there's 5 or 6 cars parked there at a time. Just any time that you drive by, there's people at these stores. So the idea that with this property, we could have, you know, this retail location that is constantly getting people who are actively looking to buy, like not looky-loos, like they're pulling over for veggies, they're coming to buy stuff. That would be revolutionary for what we want to do with this property, and that is the long-term profitability goal. That's how we make this farm make money, is that we actually are able to sell everything that we can grow. And like, that is helping me kind of not dwell on the poor sales figures for the farmers market this year and just think about the future vision.
And on that note, I have future vision of dinner. So see you next time.
You know when you take a nap on a hot summer day and then you wake up and you're a billion degrees and you feel like hot garbage? Well, that is me. I woke up like 20 minutes ago and I look really weird, so I'm giving you the disclaimer before we start filming this video that I feel like I'm in this spacey void right now.